Right on the nose. It is 3 o'clock down here in Boise, Idaho, as we are at the Pulse Radio Studio at Boise State University. You are listening to the 100th edition of Blue Collar Sports.
That's right.
We love to talk sports, and if you guys tuned out with us before, you know it's national sports, and it's a great show. I've loved it. I'm your co-host, Seth Newell, joined here with co-host Trevor Brenlin. And like I said, this is the start of hour number 2 of our 100th show.
It's been a fantastic show already. We had sports news in the first segment, kind of go over Joe Flacco and the Lakers situation. Segment 2, we talked about, I don't even know what we talked about. It's been so good so far, but we related TV shows and movies to our favorite teams. And then last segment, we talked about our favorite franchises, 2 very different lists. But it's fantastic, and we're going to keep going with a different direction of the show with these next 2 segments. And then, of course, we're going to kick it off at the end, leave it all out with a debate like we do every last segment of our last show of the week.
And it's a big-time debate today, that's for sure. But like you said, we've been doing more personal-type stuff as it is our 100th show. And now we're going to do something I know we have definitely never done. And kind of get outside of sports now and talk about get to know us. We're going to treat it as an interview as if we're interviewing each other. Just about really life and just little scenarios. Because, I mean, if you guys have listened to us before, I'm sure you know our sports opinions. But not a lot of people that have listened to us before really know us, what we're doing. And that's what we're going to use this segment to do.
That's right. So let's kick it off with the About Us segment. That's what we're going to call this here. We're going to talk about us, and I have questions for Seth, and Seth has questions for me, and we're going to get to it right now. First, Seth, I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite music artist?
Favorite music artist? This one's a no-brainer for me. That's J. Cole. He's got to see him in Boise a couple months ago, which was really, really, really incredible. But I could relate J. Cole to sports in a lot of ways based on his perspective. He talks a lot about happiness and how materialistic things aren't necessarily what's going to make you happy. I really like that approach, and he brings that to his music. You know, I'm a huge hip-hop, huge rap fan, but not necessarily new era stuff. Not a big new era rap fan. I like the older stuff and lyrics with a meaning, and the way he could tie in stories through lyrics with a good beat is pretty remarkable. And he's having this is one of these last couple months have been some of the best months of his career, and he's getting older now, but he's been featured everywhere on a ton of albums. J. Cole, huge rap guy, and J. Cole is by far my favorite.
Right on. Let's keep it going with, I know you said you're a TV show guy, but which we'll get to, but what is your favorite movie of all time?
Ooh, movies. See, that one's tough.
Yeah.
I'm definitely more of a TV show guy. I mean, of course, I've seen movies.
Gotta have a favorite movie.
I'd probably have to go with Remember the Titans.
Okay.
That one, I've seen it countless number of times, and it made me really excited to play high school sports, that's for sure. And obviously the meaning behind it. Denzel Washington's probably my favorite movie actor, him and Mark Wahlberg. But I'd have to go Remember the Titans. It's an incredible story. I hope you guys have all seen it. If you haven't, definitely go check it out.
Since you are more of a TV show guy, you've had a lot of TV show relationships in this show so far. What is your favorite TV show of all time?
Hands down, The Office. If you guys ever talked to me, just like the Seattle Mariners, I relate everything to The Office. This part's probably gonna make you sound a little crazy, but I just finished The Office a couple weeks ago, all the way through. It was the 19th time I've seen it all the way through. I'm going on number 20 here shortly. But I live my life by Office quotes. There's a quote for everything. It's incredible. I love it. And so I definitely have to say The Office. The way they play characters, it's incredible.
I know you're a big fan of the show. I'm honestly not as big into TV shows as you are. I'm more of a movie guy. So I have not seen The Office all the way through.
That pains me.
That is me.
Pains me.
Unfortunately, I have not. But real quick, who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, that's hands down. If you guys know me as well, Mila Kunis. Mila, if you're listening to this, you're welcome on the show anytime. That's for sure. I got a big poster of Mila. Ashton Kutcher's a great guy, so I understand it. But Mila's definitely my celebrity crush.
Right after this show in this segment, I will tag Mila in this segment and send it to her, and hopefully we could get something started. But we'll see. Maybe she can be here in studio.
Sports. We can talk about whatever she wants to talk about. You're always welcome on.
We'll keep moving on. What athlete are you most similar to in the sports world?
Man, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one.
It could be a retired professional, maybe even if you see someone else.
Mindset-wise, and I'm going to have more on this next segment, but mindset-wise, I want to say Kobe Bryant because of his focus and his attention to detail and the way he attacked basketball. I think that's in anything in life you could use that mindset if you focus in and just look to attack it. That's why. But I mean, basketball is always my main sport. I played basketball all the way through, and a lot of people say I work at this basketball place, and they call me Sean Livingston because style of play, which
you can see. I see that,
but just tall, lanky. But mindset-wise, I would definitely want to say Kobe Bryant.
It's hard to back that up too,
because it's definitely tough to back up because of the way he attacks everything. And go all out on something you love, and that's what Kobe Bryant put him. I mean, I'm plenty more on him next segment as well.
So finally, Seth Newville, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
That's a great question. So, if you guys don't know, I'm an English teaching major here at Boise State. I want to be a high school English teacher and a high school basketball coach is what I want to do. So hopefully that's where I see myself in 10 years. Little details, I don't know, like kids, life, all that stuff.
Yeah, that will be there somewhere.
Out, but I'm working to be a high school English teacher and a high school basketball coach. And mentioned, I had a lot of great teachers. I'm grew up in Boise. Boise had lots of great teachers, lots of great coaches. That were big mentors for me, and that's what I want to be in the future. Hopefully, in 10 years, I'll be doing that. Not sure if ultimately I do want to come back to Boise.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, will that be in Boise, Idaho?
That's what I definitely stay in the Northwest. I do not have any plans to leave the Northwest. I've never had a desire to leave the Northwest. Big Oregon fan, love Bend, Oregon.
Bend, great place.
Definitely a place I'd want to be. Or Seattle. Season tickets to the Mariners game does not sound like a bad life either. So definitely in the Northwest, just not for sure if it's gonna be Boise or not yet. It wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, absolutely. Boise is a fantastic place. That's why I'm up here from California. But those are my questions for you, Seth. I really like your answers, and I know you got some similar stuff too.
Yeah, that's a little bit about me. If you guys don't know, now we're gonna switch things over. I'm gonna interview. I'm gonna start with a question. That's gonna be. I'm excited to hear the response. But what is your best memory from your childhood?
My best memory, that one's hard. I don't know. My best memory, I don't know. I always grew up, outdoors is my thing. I always liked going outdoors. So skiing was always one of my favorite things to go do. Yosemite National Park is my favorite place.
In Bakersfield?
No.
Where
it's a good 3-hour drive to go to the nearest skiing place. So it's not like here in Boise where it's only an hour drive. So no, absolutely not. You made a vacation to go skiing, but Yosemite National Park's my favorite place growing up. We have a house there, and just hanging out there, hiking and playing in the river there, in the water, playing with the dogs. That's definitely the best thing I grew up doing, and I'm definitely going to do that in the future.
You went there recently, didn't you?
I went over Christmas break, absolutely, and I'm going to go in the summer multiple times.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, Trevor's from Bakersfield. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I grew up actually in Palm Springs area, Coachella, if you know the fun festival. That's the area. But then moved up to Bakersfield. Not much going on there, mostly agriculture and oil. There's a town called Oildale right next door. Not the best place to be. Don't be walking the sidewalks at night there. Absolutely. But it's about 2 hours north of LA. 3.5 hours south of San Francisco, kind of in the middle there. So not a whole lot going on. If you guys know Fresno, it's basically the same place. It's not too much, not too great. That's why I'm up here in Boise, because I like the outdoors and I like doing stuff like skiing and mountain biking and hiking. So not the best place, but that's why I'm up here in Boise.
Going off locations and traveling, my next question is, if you had all the money in the world for one trip, you have a week, I'm giving you a week time frame, where would you want to travel and why?
To me, this one is... it's an easy answer for me. I've always wanted to go to the country of Australia. That's where I want to go. Sydney, Gold Coast, kind of the eastern side of Australia has always been the place I want to go. Snorkel the Great Barrier Reef, swim with the sharks. That's what I will do for sure. And just, like I said, I like the outdoors. I like adventure stuff like skiing and swimming and all that. I've skydived before, so anything that gets your adrenaline going, I'm going to go do. And in Australia, in New Zealand even, big into the action sports out there, and so I want to go over there and surf and do everything I can out there. It's a great place. All the locals seem really chill. I could just see the Australian vibe and lifestyle very similar to what I want to do.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Definitely an outdoorsy guy, that's for sure. I know that. If New Zealand, definitely top one for me.
Absolutely.
My brother's down there. I'd love to get down there. But my next question for you is kind of similar to the one you asked me. What's your favorite type of music? And you can talk about specific artists.
Yeah. Favorite music here. I've always been kind of an alternative kind of person and music fan. Red Hot Chili Peppers would probably be my favorite band. They played in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and so I've always liked their music. I've always been a big fan. My favorite song is probably Donny California. I saw them live in Seattle.
We played it on the show.
We played it a couple times. Yeah. Let me say that. But I've seen them live in Seattle. Put on a great show, fantastic, and so all the bands similar to them. But also I listen to a lot of classic rock. I've seen the Eagles live; they are fantastic. Boston is fantastic. Fleetwood Mac is a great group, and so always been kind of a classic rock and alternative kind of music guy. And I've just been a big fan of older music, I'd say.
Favorite? This isn't a question I have, but going off that, favorite concert you've ever been to?
Probably the Chili Peppers one in Seattle. It was fantastic. And actually, if you guys know Cage the Elephant, they're another group I really like. We played a couple of their songs. They came to Bakersfield one time. They were fantastic too. But definitely the Chili Peppers was my favorite band. I always wanted to see them. They were in Seattle. I wore a Gary Payton Sonics jersey there, and everyone loved it.
Sonics.
And so that was a fantastic show.
That's awesome. Great answer there. Second to last question. And we talked about mine with Mila Kunis early on in the segment. But if you could go on a date with one person, who would it be?
One person.
One date.
One date, one night. That's tough. I don't know. I don't really have like celebrity crushes, I'd say. A couple of names that come to mind would be Alex Morgan's pretty cool. She seems like a good girl, and she's a very good soccer player. And then there's also a tennis player I like. I think her Jeannie Bouchard from Canada. She's very cool. And actually, the story I kind of followed was maybe a couple years ago, but one fan on Twitter shot a shot at her saying he wants to go on a date. What can he do? It was a basketball game. If this team won, they were down by like 20. If this team won, can we go on a date? And she replied saying yes. And that team actually came back and won. And they actually
heard that story.
I'll show you after the show. They actually got together. They went to Madison Square Garden to watch the Knicks game, and they've actually gone out a couple of times. So it's very cool story to watch. She's very nice with fans and people like that. So I think that was really cool to see. But if I could
shoot your shot then on Twitter.
I probably will. So you're going to do that with Mila, and I will too on Twitter. And if I could go to dinner with anybody, it'd be LeBron James. That's my answer right there. I just want to know everything he knows about everything, sports and entertainment and business. And if I don't know what I would be able to do. I couldn't speak if I was having dinner with LeBron James. Have a nice glass of wine. He loves his wine. And so that would be a fantastic night to me.
I would love to go on LeBron James as well and just give him a little piece of my mind. That's for sure. But last question, and this is kind of what we base this segment around. You asked it to me as well. But 10 years from now, where do you see yourself?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I don't know. I could see myself in a couple different areas. Absolutely. In 10 years, I'll be 31. Who knows what I'm doing? But okay, here's a couple different spots. I could see myself running an NFL team like the Los Angeles Rams. That's what I would want to do.
I could see that.
Be a general manager, running a football team, and coming off a big Super Bowl win would be fantastic. Having a ring, and just being the guy making the roster and leading that group. Another thing I could do, I could see myself working for a sports agency right now, and then in 10 years creating my own sports agency. I am an entrepreneurship major, so I want to own my own business too, and kind of build a place where athletes could go and not only be represented by people, but hang out, have a gym that's open to them, and just a place where athletes can just chill and be who they are outside of their team. So I could see myself going a couple different aspects, but I'll probably be in California and have my own business.
Yeah, that's definitely the business side of things where I see you in the future. Great answers there, but that's a little bit about us. We've never really opened up about that stuff, so we wanted to use a segment for our 100th show regarding that, but that was awesome. Great answers. Yeah, you had great answers too. Definitely something we needed to do on the show, and I'm glad we did it today on our 100th show, and so that was a really cool segment about us. Yeah, that was awesome. We are going to head to break right now. Stay tuned. We got one regarding our favorite athletes coming up, so it's going to be good. Stay tuned.